Nobody wants a bland take. It's like a bland taco. Nobody wants a bland taco. Only you gotta have that spice.
Yeah, at times I will go to tweet something, I'll delete it and be like, that would be something that's associated with my name for a while. And I still do tweet some pretty radical stuff. Are you able to bring a tattoo gun on a plane?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to shame you at all, but tattoo machine, please, for the love of God. Every single one. I went and bought cat food, and all the bowls, I laid them out maybe 6 to maybe, I don't know, 10 feet apart from the backyard to my dad's garage.
Golf claps? Can we do a golf clap sync?
Yes.
That sounds like a terrible idea.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Ew.
Good job, everybody.
Yeah, it did not sound like what I
gross.
think you wanted it
That's
to sound
golf
like. Sounded like something very, very different.
That's just the way the world works.
That's how golf claps be. You know how
You guys ever like be somewhere where people, instead of doing like claps, like or a round of applause, or even like golf clapping, they're just like snaps, and then like everyone in the room starts like snapping, and you're just like, what?
Yeah.
I hate that.
Isn't that like
Really?
a poetry circle thing?
It is.
I hate it.
It is a poetry thing.
Yeah.
It's so awkward, though, that you cannot deny that at least someone turns around and is like, oh, we're snapping. And you have to
exactly.
sign this social contract that now you're snapping. And
I have
it's
never
so
signed
weird.
the snapping contract.
Oh, I
See,
have.
I usually.
Even
Yeah.
though we live
in a
you know.
time where snapping is what's up, or it means a lot of things now.
I feel like I usually
guess
get it.
does.
I feel like it usually happened for me like in the middle of a broader like conversation. Like it was more of a like snapping in agreement rather than actually like snapping as a replacement for applause.
Oh no.
See,
that's
I'm talking
fine.
about, like,
That's normal.
I'm
That's
talking like the whole room of people just starts going.
Yes, I've seen that.
I had too. When I was at my school's newspaper last semester, like there was literally like at the end of like people giving like the rundown for their column, people would snap, and I would never snap because I didn't support it. I was like, I'm not snapping. I was like, I get it, y'all are snapping, but like, this is the line in the sand that I've drawn. I will not snap. Just clap. What's gonna happen?
I agree.
Like
it's
in
so soft.
the building at 6 p.m., you think like people are gonna come in and be like, "Hey man, can you please not clap for 2 seconds?"
I've seen it a lot in like poetry houses or shows or whatever you want to call them, gatherings maybe. It's so soft and it just feels like, come on, can we be less like poets and just clap for? Why are we snapping our fingers?
Exactly. Yeah. Just clap. Just applaud. It doesn't make you more poetic to snap. It's not poetic to snap.
I have seen. I've gone to a golfing match and I thought I was going to be really, really bored and like hating on everybody there.
Then you got to golf clap.
It was
and you were like, "This is fun."
People were so into it. I also think every person there is drunk, but everyone was like, I became super into it, and I can't golf well at all.
It's okay.
I think it's a dumb sport, though it is very interesting, the fact that people can do it, but witnessing it, you've once you're a part, I just snapped right there. Once you're a part of it, I know. Once you're, oh God, once you're a part, like you try something, I think your tone on the subject just changed maybe for the better, or
yeah,
you know what I mean. There's so many things in life that I thought I knew about, or I had like a really strong opinion about, like golfing is dumb, snapping my fingers is dumb in public, all that until you do it. And you realize snapping your fingers is dumb.
But you're still doing it, and you're there to have a good time, and you're having a good time, whether or not you're looking like a fool snapping your fingers.
Right.
Golfing always reminds me, though. Golfing reminds me of the best subreddit on Reddit, which is non-golfers. And it's a group of people that act like the atheism subreddit acts about religion, except about golf.
I like it.
What is that? Listen, I'm gonna tell you, y'all. I feel like during this quarantine, I am new to. I've found I'm like a baby with the internet. I'm learning all these stuff.
I'm the opposite.
What do you mean?
During the
You're
quarantine,
old?
I've become like an anti-internet person.
That's
Jackson
tight.
ran out of internet.
I went from being like, I like the internet. This is cool, and now I'm just like, you know what would be awesome? Undoing industrialization and just living in the woods. And so like. I love and respect that you were like beginning to get more involved with the internet, because maybe you can just take my place.
I will.
You heard it here first, folks. When I become
Jackson.
true mountain man, Jess is the new podcast co-host.
Bring it on, dude. I'll snap my way in there. No problem.
Oh no.
Speaking of, are we gonna do people introductions? That seems like an important thing to do.
I'm good.
Dear
Noah,
Lord, yes, please.
Noah, do you want to?
I suppose we could. Is this the part where? Oh, half a sec. My mic started sliding all over.
Ooh.
All right.
Is this the part where I
Professional
go,
podcast host.
welcome to Hoof the Air. I'm Noah, joined by
Boo.
Dan and Jackson,
Boo.
as usual.
No, that voice was. I didn't like it.
However, I'm going to ignore that and introduce our special guest today,
Yay!
the
Woo.
one and only Mr. Scutella.
Check. Can we get some snaps?
Hey, come on, baby! Snap it in.
Alright. Can you
R.I.P.
please snap?
to Noah's clap sync. We knew it well.
How's it going,
But
everybody?
now, congratulations
You guys are
for Noah's
great.
snaps.
I can tell already you guys are great.
Oh,
Except for you, Noah. Come on, get out.
no, valid.
You did say you were white bread earlier.
If only people were to have heard me singing your sweet praises just a few lonely moments ago.
Part of the
Unfortunately,
phrase
there's no
was in fact calling him white bread. I just want to go on the record saying that.
but
Part
the
of the
coolest
sweet
white
phrases
bread.
was being like, "Hey Noah, you're white bread, and your family's like an amazing baker."
So
I really want Noah's mom to hear that because Noah's mom is literally the wackiest, coolest human being.
yep,
She's great.
We don't deserve to know her
she's in the
because-
Discord. She's
I
here.
was going to say,
Yeah,
she does
she was on
listen
the
to the
podcast one
podcast,
time.
so she will
Yeah.
hear you say that.
She will hear
Oh,
it.
good. I'm not embarrassed by it at all.
No, you shouldn't be. She's
truly-
great.
Perhaps she's the main reason I'm hypnotized by this family because I feel like there's so many layers to that freaking onion that I just want to keep. I don't care if I'm crying. I don't care how bothered I am by it. I want to know more about
This
this
guy-
person.
This
You
metaphor
bring
really
that
got
up
away
on
from
the-
you.
Yeah, no, that was a great metaphor. You should bring that up on the stand. You should. I'll give you a snap sync after that bad boy.
Oh, that's what I want to hear.
You know what's more poetic than snapping and will lead to an absolutely terrible transition into nothingness?
Ooh, I was gonna. Okay, go ahead.
I don't know why, but I just thought of the flapping of Lucifer's wings in Dante's Inferno in the lowest level of hell.
That's
And how he
real. Yeah,
freezes
that's
himself. And that's literally like one of my favorite pieces of imagery of all time. Just like, bro, he's literally freezing himself in his own prison, dog, and his attempt to get out of it is freezing him more. That's good. Anyway, like I said, literally a transition into nothing.
You had
I
nowhere to
will
go
say
with
this.
that. It was just a
I will-
thing.
I just thought of it and I had to say it out loud.
I actually have. So Noah, I don't know if you remember this tradition, but
Oh, God.
long ago we established a tradition that every guest we brought on had to be an expert in something.
Oh,
That's true.
We did establish
crap.
that.
We did establish
that.
So
It was established. It is known.
So Jess, what would you like to be known as the expert of?
It can be anything.
It can be anything. It does not have to be something you are actually an expert in, although we will
No, it
ask
does.
you to write a paper on it in MLA
You will
formatting.
become an expert. Well, whatever you say is it's true. You have one opportunity to say anything you want, and it will be taken as true.
Yeah.
And you will become an expert in that field.
ASMR.
All right, here we go.
Ooh, ASMR expert.
I'm not going to go into it too much because Noah knows. I know Noah knows. And I know Noah's nose knows. You know what I'm saying? And
Noah, you smelled it? Who dealt it?
but I
Might be you if you
genuinely,
smelt it, Noah.
for years, I have argued with myself whether I should start straight up start an ASMR like page or a YouTube channel. That's how
Okay.
obsessed I am with it. Because
Noah, can I get you to apply a filter over Jess's voice throughout this entire episode so far to where he's talking in ASMR tone? And then we can you're just an ASMR guest now. You can talk in ASMR this whole time. This is a judgment-free zone. Go for it.
Okay, here we go. I just want
Okay,
you guys-
let's go. Let's go.
I want you boys to know that I appreciate it so much. And your value. And nobody in this world's going to get you down.
I feel really motivated.
Yeah, dude, don't you?
I'm
Every
ready to
time,
go start a podcast.
every
or
time I
something.
listen to ASMR, I feel like a new person.
I've talked about it a little bit on the podcast in the past. I'm not a fan of ASMR generally.
You're
but
dead.
that's fine. I understand. No, it's super fair. I'm dead on the inside. The outside will soon join it.
Yeah, you know what would cure you? You know what would cure you on the
More
inside?
ASMR.
He's right.
Bingo.
You know what? That's fair. I hadn't considered that perhaps it's one of those it gets worse before it gets better sort of situations.
Yeah, exactly. Dude,
The poison is the cure.
Exactly. But that's what I am an expert in. I've been studying it for years. And I appreciate you guys asking, but I don't feel comfortable discussing it anymore because I clearly see that you are all, maybe not Noah so much, but you're all laymen in it and you don't deserve my knowledge.
Okay. Do you have
true.
anything else that you might be an expert in that you also could talk about?
I mean, of all the people here, He is the one with the most backup,
You have backup?
masteries that he could be dragging out of here.
I sometimes stab people.
You
I
do
sometimes-
stab people.
I stab them a lot.
Oh, I thought he just had like backup. I thought there was like people about to like jump me or something.
There are people here in this room right now.
He's got backup.
So if you guys try to get unruly with me, there's going to be problems.
I have two
Especially
cats
you,
in my
Jackson.
room with me. Oh man,
Jackson really wanted there to be problems.
I got cats. Giblet's gonna get you.
Your cat's name is Giblets?
Yeah, and he'll get you.
Oh, Giblets! I have a little
He's not
fat
very
son
bright.
named Spot, and he is truly like my reason for being. No joke. I would be less of a person, and I mean this genuinely, without my cat Spot. He's my dude.
That's great. What kind? Is he chunky? You said he's a
what
big
is
boy.
he? What is he?
He's kind of fat. I mean, I know Noah's seen him multiple times, but he was fat.
Big boy.
I let my dad overfeed him, and then ex-girlfriends of mine overfed him. But he's slimmed down, and he's very old. He's like he's 16 now. He's 16 years old.
Oh,
I love old animals.
I've had him. I caught him when he was like a little baby infant kitty cat.
you caught him like a Pokemon?
Got one.
Dude. You know what's weird? Pokemon has to do with this story.
Oh my god!
Go,
What?
go off.
It
Go
was a
off.
Pikachu.
Those of you who know where Waterford, Pennsylvania is, that's where I grew up. Okay, so it's out in the middle of the woods, and randomly we started to see a little kitty cat bouncing around, and then sure enough, that cat had kittens,
Mm-hmm.
and there was one that kept maybe got lost, I don't know, but was still hanging around in our backyard. So what do? I try to capture it. For weeks, I was failing until I used every bowl that my dad had for like cereal and stuff. Every single one. I went and bought cat food, and all the bowls, I laid them out maybe 6 to maybe, I don't know, 10 feet apart from the backyard to my dad's garage, where I tied a string around the door handle where that was open, where the last bowl of food was. And I sat on the other side of my dad's 87 Buick with the string in my hand, and I played fucking Pokemon on my
Yeah,
Game
that-
Boy. On my Game Boy, waiting
Okay.
to hear the cat.
Amazing.
And
You were
then
out of your gourd. That was insane.
dude, I know, but I was like, I don't know. I was like scared the cat was gonna die. You know, I was like getting freaked out about
Oh,
that. And we caught him. It was crazy. And he's changed my life, man. I fucking love that little dude. He's truly my son. I say that to people, and they're like, that's cute. I'm like, no.
No,
I treat him like my old son who has knee problems.
It's
Yeah, but that's kind of how I got Giblet too. Like he was, there was like a mom and 2 kittens that were like hanging around, and they were just like hanging out. And then one of them was always like kind of like smaller and dumb. And then the mom and the other kitten were gone one day, and he was still like sitting in the barn, like real sickly. And I was like, so I fed him, and then like a couple days later, he's still sitting there by himself, and he's just like yelling. So I set up a box trap, and I caught him in the trap, and then I brought him inside. And now he lives in here, and he's chunky and stupid.
Still stupid. That's
Hey, dude,
the,
Yeah,
like
the
but
head part.
the other kitten did break into my house at one point in time to come hang out with him.
What
so now
the-
I have 2 new cats.
Well, I mean, let's look at that from the cat's perspective. You stole its brother, and it was like, I'm breaking into that weird box prison, and I'm getting in there.
And then I went in there, I was like, wait, this is actually kind of sick.
Yeah, this is tight in here. I want to hang out. Oh, dude, you got fat. Okay, cool. What's up?
And then
You
now the one who broke in, she just got spayed like last week. So
Oh, you kept it. Oh, okay. I thought the cat
yeah,
like
they're
maybe
both
had
just
left.
like they both just live here now. They just like hang out inside all day.
What? That's wild.
Yeah,
That's
they don't
so
really
cool.
want to go back. She'll go back out sometimes when she comes back, and he has no desire to go back out there.
Oh, what the hell? Why the hell would you want to? after-
One time I like walked him out, and he started freaking out and ran back inside. And I was like, oh,
you
it's
freaking
okay.
monster,
Take
dude.
your time, buddy.
I think Oscar Wilde said it the best. I think he said there is no love like that of a cat's, and I believe that truly. I love dogs. I really fucking love dogs. But my cat is my reason for being. He's my dude.
Giblet.
Giblet.
what a good story.
Giblet. It's such a dumb name.
Dude, it's a
good name.
disturbing name.
I call him Gibby. Or
Dude, let me
Gibby
ask you
alternatively.
Gibby,
Jackson.
like the character from
Yes.
freaking yes,
iCarly.
nice.
So here's I feel like we can't just move past something here, though.
Oh yeah,
Jess did say he is a professional stabber. And I just feel like that does need mildly
we did bury the lead on
elaborated
that one a
at the
bit,
very
didn't we?
least.
What is confusing about that, Noah? I stab people for a living.
Oh,
pay
never mind. I got it.
He's a doctor.
They come to me and they're like, "Hi, Jess, yeah, will you stab me? Yes. Where do you want to be stabbed? Here. Okay. Lay down." And then I
Do you
just
ever just say
do
no?
it for hours, and I stab them over and over, and I'm like, "You like it, huh? You like it?" And they're like,
You say that? You
Yeah.
say it with that inflection too?
"Oh yeah."
Okay.
Sometimes even more aggressive.
Oh,
And there's
nice.
like a mild tone of maybe like arousal in my voice.
Oh, that's unsettling, but cool.
Honestly, I don't even know what I'm feeling when I'm doing it, but I love stabbing people just over and over again. Yeah, that's what I do. I stab them, and I've stabbed. Oh, guys, I can't tell you how many. I've lost count of how many times I have stabbed. I've penetrated Noah deeply.
He has done that a lot. I wish he didn't say it
no, I
that
didn't
way.
say
but
the
he
word
has
again.
done
No,
that.
say the word back.
One time I stabbed Noah so hard and so like passionately, I would even say, that he passed out.
This did
Hell.
happen.
That's amazing.
Oh my god, I love to
think
have a
that will
I have a
always
forum
be-
to say
Did
this
he ever
now.
come to?
No, I died.
Oh my
actually.
God.
He didn't.
I
He
will
did.
tell
He
you.
did in fact not.
It's almost like I still hear him.
He was so like I really brought him somewhere when I stabbed him that hard, you know. No, I tell this story to literally, Noah, I think you know this. I've told you this. That this is a story I share with clients because it's so damn funny.
It's such a
love
good
it.
story.
I mean, it's not. I feel bad because you know I love you, but was it your
you're
first
a
tattoo, Noah, or
bitch.
it wasn't?
It was my first ever.
Yeah, and this is, I believe, how we met.
Yep.
Oh, I guess I should be honest and say I am a tattoo artist from Erie, Pennsylvania, but I work in Pittsburgh currently, and we'll get in the details later. Anyway, Noah came to me
In a dream.
in a dream,
And
and
he said,
was not wearing a
"Jess."
lot of clothes. And I was like, "Here we go."
I see
Who
you
are
also
you?
have met Dream Noah.
Yeah, dude, isn't that weird?
It's
Whenever
so
I
weird.
dream about
How
Noah,
come I never got to meet Dream
shirtless.
It's probably for the
Shirtless
best.
Noah? Oh man.
It's an exclusive club.
And I don't even know. No, I can't remember exactly how I felt about you at the time, but I think we were getting along pretty well. And you were quite nervous, and you was it was your forearm tattoo, correct?
Yep.
Inside, and we were doing it, getting along, talking about music or something. And I mean, literally, some people go white when they are about to pass out, right?
Mhm.
Noah turned into he turned invisible.
No,
and
good
like
for him.
transparent, and he just I can't describe it any other way other than he collapsed into himself. Like, he didn't fall down, he didn't fall up to the side, he just kind of fell into himself.
Yeah.
And it was hysterical because he was like shaking and like convulsing. I was like, oh shit. And I ran to get a towel on his back. And Noah coming out of a coma would be the cutest and most precious thing. Because watching him like come to when I put like a towel upon his neck, he was like,
I love it.
So sorry, I must have dozed off there.
It appears I was quite faint there.
Yeah, dude, like,
sorry
He had
for
the
that.
vapors.
he was like
I had the
fawning.
vapors in
I
in
must
the
have had
worst
the
of
vapors.
ways.
Oh my god, dude, it was poetic. It was genuinely poetic. It was so funny. And I'm the words I use to describe how he passes out do not do it justice, but that's the closest way I've found in my lexicon to describe how
Oh, you got a Lexus?
I bought it. The market's good for it, you know.
Good for them.
Great time to buy right now.
Yes. No, okay, I'm sorry. I will give you a genuine introduction. If those of you who are listening do care at all, my name is Jess. I am a professional tattoo artist. And I tattoo all over the world. I'm very lucky to have done that, all over the United States. And it is truly one of the luckiest career choices I've ever fallen. I fell into it, and I'm very lucky I did because I got to meet Noah. you guys all, everything kind of has come off of tattooing, and I'm very lucky to do it.
And I will say, there are definitely going to be people that are interested in that, because you are now not to try and overly like swell your opinion and like your mood, right? You are our most requested guest.
Oh, what?
Basically, you're probably the biggest deal of all time.
Because
don't forget that.
We've had people come in who are like, a couple people have been like, yeah, I think it would be really cool if they were on. Like, my mom was previously actually the most requested.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, outside of Suzuki Joe, you're a hero.
Oh,
like, you're
dude.
Like,
okay,
if it's
why are we talking
that'd
about
be a
him?
big deal.
Why are we talking about him?
He's a hero.
What are you saying, Jackson?
Muted, banned, gone.
Ban me because,
man.
listen, we'll discuss it, but
I refuse.
I grew up living next to that dude.
You met him?
know that dude.
No, wait, what?
No.
Yeah. Noah didn't tell you, did he? Yeah.
You didn't tell me.
Oh, that's right. I didn't tell you, but Noah, what did I say to you? What did I say to you when you told me?
I said Jackson got to meet Suzuki Joe last week, so that was pretty cool. You're like, I hate him.
Yeah, I was like, no, I think I even said I fucking hate that guy. Mm-hmm. Now listen, I'm not trying to start any beef. He is genuinely. I mean, I don't not acknowledge the fact that he has worked very hard for Erie, and he's done well for himself. But I think he might be the devil.
You gotta go in on this, because we have a long-standing fandom of Suzuki Joe on the podcast.
We like his radio ads, and we think he's silly.
You like them?
They do.
Ironically.
Honestly, literally, if my brother and I heard you say this, we would fight you.
We
wouldn't even ask you any questions. We'd be like, "Yeah, you just said that," and you would affirm.
It's on site.
And it would switch.
$49.9.
Oh my! Let me tell you, Brian. Let me tell you. Come on down. And it always sounds like he is like he's barely remembering how to say words.
And he's on so much lower quality. Wow, is that true, Joe? That's a good deal.
Yeah, dude. It's always literally the script reader is always like barely paying attention. He's like, "Oh wow, Joe, can't believe it."
And they're in like super high quality audio, and then Joe's over there like, like he's living in like the void.
I do feel like, dude. So
he's speaking from a different dimension.
Jackson did tell Suzuki Joe that we are fans.
It's true.
Yeah, dude, he can freaking smoke it. I hate that. Dude.
So okay, no, I want. Why is Suzuki Joe canceled? Give me the whole the long and short of it. Cancel this man.
I'm kind of vaguely afraid to because there could be a legal issue that could happen to me. There could
be loyalists.
I don't know. I mean, people are weird about him, but he literally lived down the street from me. I cut his grass for a minute. Okay, this is all out there. But something transpired between him and I. And it got pretty funky, dude. It got pretty funky. And I don't actually hate the dude, right? It's nothing like, oh, this dude tried to freaking kill my freaking dad or whatever. You know what I mean? But
I wish it was that cool.
I do too. I have a great story.
I don't wish he tried to kill your dad. Call me crazy.
Yeah.
All right, okay. Weird take for you, Jackson, but you know what? I understand. I respect it. I respect your opinion on this.
Thanks.
But him and we definitely got into it, and then ever since then, I couldn't unhear the shitty behavior that I received from him, and I just like, and there's here's one thing. Here's why he's canceled. One time, I saw him at a Michael's. Okay.
Oh, the craft store. What was he crafting on?
Yes, and I was like, I literally, under my breath, I was like, fuck her.
You're like, it's Joseph.
Sure enough, he literally yells at this lady who accidentally cut in front, like, didn't see that he was waiting in line because...
Didn't see him in IKEA either.
Oh my God, I hate you. He did. I would say he probably did not see. I'm sorry, she did not see him there because he's short. Have you met him, Jackson?
I did meet him.
Yeah,
I would not slander a living legend, but
he she came from behind like a little, like middle of the aisle display. You know what I mean? And just stood in line.
Yeah.
And he was like, nope, no way, ma'am. And was getting aggressive with her.
Ooh, Joseph.
And I was like this close to being like, straight up, I was gonna be like, "Fuck Suzuki Joe," and then everyone would be like, "Oh shit,
hate Suzuki Joe."
Well, I wanted to call him out because not everybody recognizes him. Like a lot of people see his face and know his voice, but until you compare the face and the voice, you might just be like, "Oh, that guy sounds just like that fucking annoying voice I hear all the time on the radio." You know what I mean?
You should have been is like, hey man, you love to see him in a Kia, but you hate to see him in front of you at line at Michael's. Is that the deal, man?
Yeah, dude.
And then you hit him. Then you just hit him.
That's way better. I should have done that. I mean, I didn't do anything. I was just super pissed, and I was like, I hate that dude.
Yeah.
So.
What are the odds that like the week after I meet Suzuki Joe for literally the first time in my life and make a pretty big deal about it on the podcast, we get a guy on the podcast who cancels Suzuki Joe publicly?
I think that's absolutely hilarious, honestly.
There's nothing more poetic than that.
I will say he does suck.
Except perhaps the whole like Lucifer flapping his wings in the lowest level of hell.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. That's right.
A little bit more poetic. That's all I'm saying. Okay, continue.
I do have
transitions into nothing.
I do have a great story though that is similar to that, and it rides off of that in that it was around the same time that I was cutting old Joe's grass.
Oh, Joe, give me the scoop.
Does anybody still drink Welch's juice?
Yeah.
Every once in a while.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know what it is, right?
Yeah.
I'm familiar.
So, I was a landscaper, and I became the oh my gosh, what's the word? The foreman of my own team. And luckily, my boss trusted me enough to start taking on like bigger jobs, like Suzuki Joe's and other people's, and one of which was the VP of Welch's grape juice, y'all.
Oh. Mr. Welch himself.
I wish. Now listen, this dude's house. I mean, in Erie, there are some like secret mansions, right? Like straight up stuff. You're like, how is this place even real? And how do I live, within the same vicinity of this place? That was this guy's house. Okay,
he had a secret mansion.
Oh, dude, huge, massive house. I mean, 3 floors, as wide as you can imagine. 3-star garage. I mean, he had multiple cars. 3-star garage, and then also it was too deep. So he had 6 cars.
It's a 6-car garage.
Yeah, dude. I should have just said that.
No, what if he had a 12-car garage, but he only had 6 cars?
Yes. And attached to the
Bit
house.
of a reference.
Right? A pool, all this stuff. It doesn't matter. I mean, he was very well off. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Good for him. But
we disagree on that.
Except for eat the rich. But I started cutting this dude's grass, and I had cut it before, but I wasn't the head foreman of it. As in, I didn't lead everybody and say, okay, you trim the bushes, and you cut over there, and you take care of that tree, all that jazz, right?
Yeah.
So the first time I ever did it, I rode back on a riding lawnmower to start cutting just the lawn, and as I'm riding back, now listen, I'm on a lawnmower, dude. How do you not hear this coming, right?
It's true.
As I'm riding back, I see pure terror on the face of this dude as his bare, naked body shoots up like a weird white dolphin out of a jacuzzi, butt-ass naked, jangling around. He yelps, like lets out a weird yelp, jangles his naked body into his mansion, and disappears.
Do you think he ever came out?
No. This is only part 1 of the story, old Jackson.
Does he come out with a vengeance?
No. So I was like, I cut the grass and that we did the job. And when I got into the truck, I was like, well, I saw that dude's dick. So here we go. Can't wait to enjoy a nice tall glass of Welch's and always think about that. You know what I mean?
You saw Mr. Welch's.
I still think
you saw his grapes, if you will.
It's
I can't believe you saw Welch's grapes like that.
You saw the vine.
Yeah, dude, I did. I heard it through the grapevine, baby. I heard it right through it, and I saw it.
The grapevine too.
I saw the grapes cooking in a vat of bubbling water. So the next time we get there, he opens up the front of his door. Like we're getting set up to cut the grass. He opens up the front of his door, and I mean, there's no way else to put this, but 2 prostitutes come out of the house, disheveled, like hair in a mess.
They could have been anybody.
Like they clearly been doing things.
Literally, if I could like paint this picture for you, you'd be like, oh, this is a picture from a movie that is like super hyperbolic.
You're telling me this is the Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah,
But instead it's the Welch of Wall Street.
Yeah,
The Welch of
Peach Street,
Wall
maybe?
Street.
The Welch of Peach Street? I don't know.
Ooh, I
The
love
Welch of-
that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm real happy with that.
Okay, so that happens, right? And he comes over to us stumbling
My
with
man.
a box of pizza, and I forget where the pizza was from, opens it up to us and says, y'all want some of this? And it was
And
old
did you?
pizza that there was only like 4 slices left.
Did you want any?
Hell no. I think the dude was
on.
I think the dude was on cocaine.
Yeah, and?
I know.
I
mean, live his life. I loved it. All right, here's the last part of the story, and I promise this is done. But this is one of my favorite stories, and because it's just madness. So the third time, or another time, we go to cut his grass. Dude, he has a Hummer out in his lawn, and we're like, "Hey, dude, you need to move that. We're gonna cut your grass, you idiot." And he's like, "Oh, I'm washing off all my stuff, man. Check it out. I got a new power washer." And we're like, "Oh, cool. Have you guys seen the power washer? They're like."
Yeah.
Extremely powerful.
Wonderful.
Yeah, you could peel the paint off a car, for example.
Yes. Well, he was like, "Oh, this is like NASCAR sponsored, man. They use this for race cars and stuff." And we were like, "Oh, cool." And he was just bragging.
The
like,
dirtiest of all cars, truly.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And we were like, "Oh, cool, man. Whatever." And he's like, "Watch this." And then he starts spraying his driveway, and it was like leaving like a pretty clear, like he was spelling out a word. Like a pretty clear, like darkness, darker than just being wet from the water.
Oh, no.
But he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna spell something." But then it started to destroy, like chip up his driveway. He was destroying it, like a nice concrete. I mean, the dude was rich, right?
Yeah.
Concrete.
Dude, it just shot pavement everywhere. It was shooting off, hitting his cars, hitting his house. And he was like, "Oh, fuck," just spraying everywhere. And me and my 2 other dudes, my coworkers, were like, "What in the fuck are we witnessing right now?" And we watched a millionaire destroy his driveway, then be so scared that he was doing it, didn't know how to turn it off, and then after he was done, all he kept saying was, "What the fuck?" And he pulled his little nice NASCAR power washer into his garage, closed the garage door, and we never saw him again. That was the last time I saw him. And he left his Hummer out in the grass.
Oh my gosh.
So,
The
sorry.
Welch of Peach Street. I love it.
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
That's a long story, but I needed to share that.
We should, for legal reasons, we should definitely say this is all hyperbolic and did not actually happen.
At all.
And it has never happened in anything,
I'm a liar.
any connection to persons living or dead.
Exactly. It is well known that Jess is actually a very dirty liar.
Yes, exactly. It is.
Any connections to persons living or dead is coincidental, but if someone is born and this happens to them, that was on purpose.
Mm-hmm. They deserved it.
Even 30 years the story is true about somebody, yeah, we meant it.
Yes. So I'm sorry I had to share that with y'all.
No, that is a gift. That is a gift and a half.
It is one of my favorite stories, and it's a very valuable one.
I can see why.
I play it back in my head. Like I see the images that I got to witness. Especially,
you just tell me you see him naked all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Especially him
close
naked.
Your eyes.
That's what I remember.
Sauntering into the house.
Yeah, dude.
Beckoning to you from the door. It haunts you.
Wait, okay. What do you guys actually talk about on this podcast? Because I feel
we actually
bad.
have exclusively talked about the Welch's guy being naked and on coke. That's actually all we've ever talked about.
Dude, that I would be the recurring guest that I would love to be if I could. If that's what you guys actually talked about.
No, but like for real, we pretty much just talk about whatever has been happening to us in the week. Like we opened up last week with the Suzuki Joe story because
it's true, and now he's ruined. He's canceled, really.
Yeah, he's
canceled. Sorry,
Suzuki
Joe. You can go hang out with James Charles in the canceled realm.
Yeah. Listen, I'm sorry to have shot down your dream. Actually, you know what? It's funny is now I'm looking in your Discord and it says they say never meet your heroes was the last title.
That
what it was?
And this is why, because the next week someone's going to tell you that they have a terrible lawn.
Good. I'm glad I did that.
I got mad
You
at
monster! I
Michael's
can't
craft
believe you.
store.
How could you?
Yeah, I really do appreciate you guys bringing me on, though. This is fun, and I obviously love talking. I do it a lot because one of the cool things about tattooing is you get to really get to like build relationships with people that are, emotional and real, and they're not like, how we were talking earlier. I think Jackson, I think you were saying this. You're like, I hate when people are like just straight up lie to me when I'm like, hey, how you doing? And they're like, yeah, good, sunny out, and 2:00.
I didn't say that, but I would probably say that.
Oh, okay.
Actually, on a level, I kind of like it when they just lie to me. I don't want to talk to you. That's why I never ask.
I feel that, but I also hate sometimes when people just. I hate being stuck in an elevator for like a long time or whatever. You're walking down this.
Weather talk.
Yeah, I hate it. I despise it with all of my being, and I wish people were just real with me, and said things that how they were feeling, and
Oh yeah, if they just kept it 100.
Exactly. You keep it 100 with me, and we'll be good. And because of my career, I would say I'm lucky enough to be surrounded by that almost every day, and maybe it's because it's a power situation, like I am stabbing you legitimately, and you're trusting me pretty intensely with a really personal expression of self, and you have no choice but to talk to me and me alone. So
yeah,
it's a wild
and
experience.
although truth is important to Jess, we would also like to point out that some stories as such told today were not necessarily to be taken in their entirety as true.
Yeah, dude.
Although many of them were.
Oh,
but
dude.
those are different ones, not the ones you're thinking of, not the ones you're mad about.
Exactly.
Mr. Welch.
I'm not even going to mention it again because I don't have to talk about it. It's fine.
Talk about what?
Talk about what?
Yeah, that's right. Nothing.
We've never talked about anything on this podcast ever. You can't say that.
That's almost actually true.
So you mentioned that you've tattooed across the world. Is there a specific place in the world that you had went for a client? Is that a thing?
Yeah, I guess. I think the first time I tattooed outside of the country was England, and then subsequently different parts of Europe, like Spain and Italy.
Are you able to bring a tattoo gun on a plane?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to shame you at all, but tattoo machine, please, for the love of God. It's not a gun at all. And I when people say gun, I literally just want to say, oh yeah, because I shot you with my ink bullets.
Pretty sick.
I do appreciate that. No, fair.
I would like to be shot with ink bullets.
But there's also no way for me to say that without sounding like a really condescending asshole. So Jackson, truly.
I take it personal, and our relationship is ruined.
How dare you have standards in your work?
Yeah,
in 2020. What a nerd.
Here's what I hate when people come up to me like, dude, like, is your tack gun gonna work on me right now? I'm like, fuck you, don't say that.
Also, what do you mean? Is it gonna work right now? Like,
I don't know. People say shit like that to me all the time. They're like, "Oh,
people
dude,
do say weird things
gun.
when they're nervous, especially."
Yeah, that's true. Very, very true. Very true. But
is your tack gun gonna work on me?
You can bring it on a plane, though, Jackson. And but certain countries, and this is what I've been lucky enough to experience. Certain countries will be way less cool about it, though. That's okay. And it's because, and ironically, they do think of it as. And that's why I kind of buckle down on correcting people, is because they'll say, what is this, a tattoo gun? And when people hear that word in an airport, on an airplane,
they don't like it.
And they see what I look like. And I'm not trying to be rude or whatever. I'm heavily tattooed. I do look like a goofball. I either have a massive beard, right now I have a mustache. And I look wild. I look like something that would cause people to be like, oh shit, what the fuck's going on? Mm-hmm. And I really have to be like, no, sir. I've gotten in security guards or whatever you want to call them faces about it. And like, no, sir, that's not a gun. Please stop using that term. You know what I mean? Because then
you're tattoo armed.
Yeah, that's right. I say
tattoo dangerous.
Yeah.
I hate
quite a few times.
I hate
a
this
tattoo
a lot.
rebel without a tattoo cause.
It's just I get why people maybe don't understand the term, but it does freak me out that some people see it and they're like, this is a weapon and we need to be cautious of it. So yeah, I've flown all over the world with them, and I have learned to hide them in different places. And now, are you hiding them? No, obviously they can see it by running it through a scan. But I've put them in my shoes and like wrapped them in socks and stuff. Nobody cares.
I feel like that's almost more sus.
Oh, I know, but I did it, and nobody harassed me about it. But if I leave them out, like just in like a nice package to like keep them safe, people do not like that. I've had it one time. I wrapped it as like a gift, like a fake gift. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, this is a birthday gift for my friend that I'm going to meet there. And they tore it up right in front of me.
Damn!
Wow.
Yeah. So again, one more time, it's not a tattoo gun, tattoo machine.
Wait, so you're telling me you wrapped up your tattoo machine in like a present, and they opened up the present?
Yeah, they tore. I mean, they weren't like in your face, guy. They were like, like aggressively unwrapping it.
But also, to be fair, it wasn't a present for your friend, right?
No, it was totally a tool. Because here's the real reason I have to be careful about it is because I do these. I tattoo illegally in every single country I go to.
Hypothetically illegally. If you were to do so.
The statute of... You think the Spanish Inquisition's about to roll up on him right now? Excuse me, sir.
Listen.
You're going away for a long time.
If you had hypothetically gone to these countries and done tattoos...
Yeah, I'd be in trouble. I'll tell you this, though.
About to run up on him, take him away to
I've talked about this on other podcasts, and they have all been like, "Wait, dude, whoa, are you allowed to be saying this right now?"
You're allowed to be saying it right now.
Yeah. So, what was I saying there? I don't know. It's incredible to experience it, and dude, it's so wild to see how cultures express themselves differently. Do who here? I know Noah does, obviously. Do Jackson and Dan? Do you guys have tattoos?
I do not.
Who said no?
Dan said no. My girlfriend and I have gone back and forth on it a lot. She's super not into them, and yes, there's the whole it's my body and I should be able to decide what I want to put on it. But also, I do live with her, and she's the one that sees it even more than I do. So I'm kind of.
Oh, and she wouldn't be into you getting one.
Yeah, she's super not into me getting them. Which
I mean, I don't hate on that. Trust me, I'm not about to be like, oh, screw her, dude. No, I get it. I get it. Yeah, dude, screw her, dude.
I mean, fair,
I get
understandable.
I do get it. I generally tell people tattoos are not for everybody, and there's nothing at all wrong with that.
No, super understandable. It's more of a, I wish it wasn't specifically something that we disagreed on, because I'm not like, I don't ever see myself become like Noah, I know, has a ton of tattoos. I know you have a bunch, and I don't ever see myself doing that, but I've always wanted to get one or two in like specific places that I think would be cool.
They say you never stop at just one, though.
That's what I've also heard.
True.
To be fair, I've had one for 4 years, but still.
I was going to say, now haven't you had just one for a little while?
Yeah, exactly.
I would say
I would like more, though.
You're in the minority there, Jackson, because well, actually, Dan, you're really in the minority now. But most people, they'll say they're just going to get one, and I can't even tell you how many times people have said they're like, just one. That's all I'm getting is for this, and they're super passionate about it. It's something very personal, and that's cool. I love it when people are getting something like that. But they always come back for more because. And Dan, maybe this will attract you even more. And I'm not trying to sell you. Trust me when I say
I'm trying to sell you, Dan.
I'm not. But it's such a pure form of self-expression.
I get that, yeah.
It is beautiful. And even the tattoos I hate doing, I still have learned to say, this is this individual's time to say, this is me. This is who I am.
Infinity signs?
Yeah, even those. There was a time where I was like, those fucking suck. They're so lame. I've done, no joke, Jackson, I've probably done near 5, if not more, 600 tattoos of that.
I believe that.
Because thankfully I have kept every single one of them. Every single stencil or drawing I've ever made for a tattoo that I put on someone's body, unless I freehanded it, then I just drew it on you. I have a copy of it. And I've counted them, and now I have a tracker on my computer. I track it by tracking my money. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
spreadsheet. Thank you.
You're good.
And I do between 700 and 1,000 tattoos every year.
That's awesome.
That's so cool.
That's freaking neat.
But now I know if I ever get a tattoo from you, I've got to get it stenciled because I want you to have the record.
Yeah, for most, it's unless I've tattooed you for a really long time, and it's like a something I think I could handle freehanding on, and I know you trust me for sure. Like I think Noah would trust me enough to freehand something on you. Do you?
Absolutely,
know?
yeah.
He has to say that. He has to say that.
Sure, you have to say
that.
That was pretty
on the spot.
You already told him. If he said no, he's never getting a tattoo.
No one would
from
trust
again.
me. Why, yes, I would trust you, Jess.
Yeah, that's right, dude. Then I like the feeling of the stencil, and I'll tell you guys another little secret. And this is something that I wish I could translate for other people's jobs, because it is something I started doing because I was super depressed years and years ago that has so helped me and really made me grateful and appreciative of what I'm doing every day. And just like the people I meet, not just the fact that I have a job, but on New Year's, I look through every single stencil I did that year, and I think back on it, and whether it was 3 dots on your ankle to a full back piece, I look through the stencil and I try to remember who that was, what their story was, how they were feeling, what they were going through, whatever. Did we have a good time, so on and so forth. And I meditate on those facts, and it's really, really healthy and really helpful for me personally.
Oh, I can
Super
imagine,
cool.
yeah. You got like 700 to 1,000 experiences that are unique and individual to go through every single year and remind yourself what happened with people that you met along the way.
Yeah,
And that's a positive thing.
Yes, and it really does solidify. When like something really funny and unique happens to you, like so for example, Noah's passing out, right? Like that, I'll never forget because it was, I don't know, I guess now maybe because we're just friends and I just will always forget that's how I first met you. But it's funny to look back and be like, oh shit, I remember this person and they did this and that was so good, and you get to like reminisce without them being there, and you're like, damn, that's so fucking beautiful. And and some of those people, they probably never think of me again. Like if they just get a tattoo by me and then they move, or they, whether they go to school or whatever, they probably never think about me again. But I have a piece of them just as they have my artwork on them forever, and it's a nice thing to remind me that we're all weirdly connected.
Yeah, that is really cool, honestly.
I love that.
Yeah, it is creepy though. If you were to like break into my house and like go through.
I was planning on it, so I'm glad you're giving me the awareness here, so I won't be startled.
Well, break into the house, go to the basement, and then all of my storage boxes that are still in the basement are just literally packed. I move. It's such a pain in the ass to move 6, almost 7 years worth of boxes of drawings.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah,
it's obnoxious, but I can't let go of them. I'm like, there's something so special to me about that. How like some people have like a life's work or whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That, I mean, obviously I'm not dead, or I'm not, in my 60s or whatever, but I've been doing this has been the longest I've held a job. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Or a specific job, and that to me, I don't know. It's just like, it's like my little puzzle piece to a puzzle I'm still building. And they're really cool to have, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Trying to say.
I mean, also on a level, like it quite literally is your life's work in that field.
Yeah, literally, dude. If I were to show you the 2014, 2013 stencils and line drawings, you'd be like, "Yikes, bro! What the fuck were you doing to people?" And then each year I get to watch as each year. You know what I wish I would have done? I should start doing it now. I wish I would have done them by month too. I have it by year, but I just smash them into like a fucking bin, and then I'm like, okay, this is 2009. Here we go. Got it.
Dude, the entire 2009 bin, one place.
Yeah, exactly. But I freaking lost what I was saying. But I just like I really am grateful to have all that stuff. So if you ever get a tattoo by me, or if you've ever had a tattoo by me, I'm sorry, you know that I 1,000%. It would take me a long time, but I bet you I could find the stencil for it.
I love that. I love it a lot.
Yeah, it's cool.
Oh, that's gross. Don't do that.
I'm gonna freaking take you. I'm gonna, if I could, Do you guys ever think about like doing really weird antisocial behavior and just like being?
Earlier, I did mention living in the woods forever.
It is true.
That's what this did happen. I was just gonna say that.
I was gonna say, if you want to live in the woods forever, just hit me up. I'm down.
Yeah, dude. I think it would be such a unique thing to just really truly detach from reality and just fucking go off, man. And
I could talk to you for hours about the concepts of getting away from society as we know it.
Yeah,
that's just kind of my like current obsession.
Do you know my friend? I guess all of you guys. I don't know if you would, but maybe Noah. Do you guys know my friend Eric Brown?
I do not.
It's like the whitest name ever, but he's a really great guy. He is a very bizarre and interesting human, and I'm so grateful. I haven't seen him in months, like more than just the quarantine stuff. In months, I haven't seen him. And him and I have traveled the world together. He was like weirdly just like my travel buddy. And he's done some really bizarre stuff in his life. But he was saying like today, like I just saw him before we started doing this, that this right now, and I'm not going to this is not going to be a political statement. I'm just saying the current climate in the world globally and in the United States, this is like almost the optimal time to be like, I'm done with this, and it's no longer safe for me to interact with a society that is like this.
Oh, dude, you're speaking my language. All right, I'm going to not say anything, though, because anything I do say, Noah, cut this part out. Really interesting stuff.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, definitely cut that out, Noah, though.
That's all I'll say is that it's very unique to think about that stuff and to realize that right now, I mean, this podcast is super fun, but literally this is important that we are talking about something that is happening on a global scale. Like, it's kind of crazy. And that's all I want to say is that this is super cool that we get to do this. And I appreciate y'all doing this. So this is really fun. Thank you. Sorry. I just wanted to say
Yeah, I could go off about anarcho-primitivism, but I will not.
I mean, I don't know, man. I like
things are constantly happening.
This is a hot take, but I do like living in a society.
Oh, I'm obsessed with it. Oh, don't hear me wrong, my friend. I am obsessed with people. I mean, I literally said earlier this. I'm obsessed with Noah's family. Like, I'm captivated by
the bakery, if you will,
by the bakery that is the Dietz family. No, by the uniqueness and the interweaving behaviors of human interaction. It's fucking bizarre, beautiful, and chaotic. And I as much as I want to say, Jackson, let's get out of here, buddy. Let's freaking head to the woods. I would probably painfully quickly, even I would say, be amiss about it. I would miss so many things.
Oh yeah.
And I don't mean just like material things. I would miss people and the sights and sounds that are human beings.
It's society. I mean, because to be fair, from the moment you're born, it's every waking moment of your life you've lived within society.
Yeah, it's like a sensory overload of just...
Exactly, and it becomes part of who we are. It's just a collective experience of humanity, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, and whether or not we become fed up with it at times and want to get away from it at times, it doesn't necessarily mean that you should, because sometimes you can't really change a society by going outside of it.
Dude, I cannot agree with you more, dude.
And sometimes I like going to a coffee shop and just sitting there and looking out the window when it's raining.
Yes. Yeah.
Who am I to say that society is holistically bad?
Can I say something that's like, I think this is mildly illegal. I did something.
Oh.
Don't do it or do
it.
Is it okay? Say your truth.
And I don't want to sound like one of those dudes that is about to be like this, but it was an experience that happened to me relatively recently, and I'm grateful for the experience because truly. I was not dealing with the pandemic stuff so well. Just to like slightly justify it, I am a cancer survivor, and I have the old immunocompromised dealio. So I was like weirdly annoyed and scared that like, oh, cool, this is what I'm gonna freaking die from. Like after I went through all that shit, this is how I'm gonna go. And I was super paranoid about it, as I'm sure you guys were.
Yeah.
Everybody, and again, it's a global thing.
Yeah, it's up to a healthy degree, though. There's a point, there's a line. But yeah, I understand.
But I was painfully selfish about it, dude. Like I just could not get in my own head or out of my own head about not necessarily woe is me, but like I have a partner who loves me very much, and I'm incredibly lucky for it. But even her, I kind of put her in the back burner, not back burner. I was scared more for me than her, even though her and I like played it really safe, right? So all this is to say, and again, this is going to sound so douchey now, but it was real for me, and I don't care what other people think, honestly. So I was lucky enough to acquire psychedelics, and it profoundly changed how I was thinking. And it wasn't the first time I'd done them, but during this situation, which is entirely unique on a global scale, and it thankfully pulled me out of a hole that I kept digging. And I don't think I would have stopped if not for that. And I'm not promoting it. I'm not saying that you should do that or anything like that. I'm just saying, for me in this situation, I was lucky enough to say we are all connected. This is how I'm bringing it together with what Jackson was saying. We are all connected. We are all experiencing this together, and whatever horrors may come, I can at least stand with it and say, wow, I am lucky to be a part of this spiral and this movement in life right now. And holy shit, am I glad that I experienced it, because I've had a way better time now that I'm doing that. Or not, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Now that I've experienced that.
Because at one level, it does make sense to be angry at the fact that you may just be a cog in a machine, but at the same time, a cog is still spinning. So there's a level in which you have to understand that the spinning is something that's taking place and you are doing it. But it's also okay to be mad at that.
That's beautiful. So my partner...
Can we get a snaps?
Yeah, I'm snapping, dude. I'm snapping. Wait, I just got to ask my partner something really quick. Really quick.
Go for it.
Okay. You mind if I tell him what you do? That's fine. Okay. Okay, so she's a reporter.
Oh, cool.
Is that okay?
Okay.
And she's been reporting on all the stuff that's going down in Pittsburgh. And I know we're trying to keep away from this stuff, and I'm not going to bring it up, I promise. But she's reporting on it and like is there and doing the work. And she was like, it's fucking wild. And she was like, I'm proud of myself, but I was like unsure of myself. And I was like, dude, you are a part of this like system. We are all moving together, and you are providing something that is important to. And I said, like, the cog needs the previous cog to move so that it can move the one ahead of it. Like it is all essential to itself. And I couldn't agree with you more, Jackson. So I'm sorry. I just wanted to say that.
No, I'm actually a journalism major. And part of it that does get me down sometimes is when I'm like learning things, it just makes me like on a level super bitter, because you'll read something and they'll be like, so this is what like media should do and cover, but this is what media is able to do and cover because of the fact that advertising runs the way that the news is informed.
Yeah.
And you're like,
yes,
it's just really sad.
But she carries that burden too. I'll say that. I'm gonna say that.
And it's a burden for sure. It's annoying. I'm sure it's never something that can really go away because of the way that things are sold and the way that things work.
Yeah, I would say I agree, and I want to ask you, do you feel comfortable, or you probably not? I'm not asking you to, but I'm asking in your own life. She feels very stifled in being able to express herself politically, or maybe even like if a controversy is happening, she feels like she can't really speak her mind because it would jeopardize her legitimacy as a journalist, or a reporter.
The thing is, I'm still in school for it, so I don't have to worry too much about that. But at times, I will go to tweet something, I'll delete it and be like, that would be something that's associated with my name for a while, and I still do tweet some pretty radical stuff. But yeah, I can sympathize with that, being unable to say things that are truly polarizing or truly incendiary, just because at a career level you can't necessarily associate yourself too heavily with things that are incredibly biased, because then you become part of the bias that exists and is the problem.
Right. Yeah.
My girlfriend also works in news. She works as a producer, as a news producer. And she and I've talked about that a couple of times, where there are a lot of times, both in like what she's allowed to cover and in like her personal life, where she just has to not say too much, just because it will come back eventually, and it can influence like everything that she has going forward or doesn't have going forward, based purely on just like, oh, I happened to say one thing one time.
Yeah. Dude, we pretty much say like put her on mute, and not to be like a stifle, but like sometimes when her and I talk, we can say whatever, but
yeah, of course,
like we have to like mute ourselves on a social media aspect or just like a public aspect. She has to be very careful, and it sucks because I like love the freedom of my. I mean, I've gotten shit wrong before. I've fucking said some stuff that I was like, this is how it is. And I was wrong, or I was maybe off base a little bit. But the freedom to be like, learning from my mistakes, you kind of have to weirdly, again, put it on mute for yourself to be taken seriously on a professional level like that.
Yeah, and I don't think that's unreasonable either. It's frustrating and it's annoying, but it does make sense on a degree because you don't want to be someone who is saying things with an incredible bias and oftentimes saying things in the heat that end up not being true, because at that point you kind of throw away your own credibility, and it sucks that you can't necessarily just speak your mind as you're thinking it, but you've also got to have that level of understanding that your political opinions become on a level of your professional appearance.
Yes.
It's frustrating.
Yeah, I will say, and not to be like braggadocious, but I guess here it comes. But like I've developed slightly this, personality. I've been lucky enough to tour and be in different parts of the world, but I have a decent amount of following now. And there is some responsibility that comes with it. And I didn't take it seriously before. I guess I'm a little reckless with it now even, but I guess more serious about it. I'm more aware of what I'm putting out there. But I would put stuff on my Instagram or my Twitter or my Facebook, and whereby thousands of people would see it. And some people were like not fucking cool with what I was putting up there. And I don't know. It just makes me way more aware from, whether they're just being like, oh, whatever, like hanging out with my friends or talking to you guys. When you start to realize that like hundreds or thousands of people will start to hear you, you have to be smart. And that awareness is like a muscle, and you got to exercise it, or you're going to be tone deaf and you're going to say some messed up shit one day,
Yeah, and the podcast is relatively small, but even the context of the podcast, like I've definitely, I think at least Noah and I have. I'm going to assume Jackson has as well. Taking a wild guess. Hey,
Jackson, who also has just talked about it, but whatever.
Like there are all sorts of things that I'm like, maybe, if anything on this podcast ever comes back to haunt me, it's gonna
be this thing or that.
Yeah. And I don't know. I feel like at least we on the podcast have a little bit of that freedom of, we are so small that like anything we say is really only going out to the people that are already involved, if that makes sense, and already get where we're coming from and already kind of see where our perspective.
Sure.
So we have that freedom. But if good Lord willing, if we suddenly become huge, like that's something we have to be very careful of, is like, we've said a lot on here and not all the time have we even gotten it right. And we've backtracked a couple of times and been like, hey, we really messed this up or whatever.
Dude, it's scary. Like I said, I have been on the wrong side of things before. And it's scary and it is painful as hell, because generally I try to operate. Noah, you know me very well. I think that I try to operate with the sense of spread love, spread joy, be respectful to a point, and just carry on and just try to be kind.
Just be chill.
Usually,
be excellent to each other.
Yes, exactly. Usually my intentions are that. So when I mess up on something and people are like, no, dude, you're fucking wrong, I'm like, oh, I apologize. I genuinely meant, it in this way, and it just doesn't matter. You are wrong. You got to check yourself and, accept the consequences of that. But it's hard. It's super hard.
Yeah.
And dude, doing it live on like Twitch, Noah.
Oh yeah,
bro. Or so I used to do. You guys all know like Comic-Cons and stuff, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
So I used to tour with Wizard World and different Comic-Con series. Like one was called Fan Expo, and there are other shows that are just one-offs that don't tour. But I was lucky enough to land a few contracts with them and work with them. And at one point, and Noah Were you at one of them, Noah, or no?
I don't know that I was.
Okay, well, there was a point where I started to get to do panels. Like, I was like the guest artist at a Comic-Con.
Mhm.
Not
That's
not
awesome.
not fucking San Diego Comic-Con. Like, don't, mishear this. They were just, semi-big shows all across the country in different spots, right? And they asked me to do panels. Now, my panels were an absolute shit show, dude. Absolute shit show. I'm not even joking with you. I'm going to give you like a few summarizations. I set somebody on fire.
Like a person.
I told people to fight each other, and I prank called people all the time, and like, I mean, not to put it lightly, I basically harassed some of these people, and in front of, between however the rooms were, either 20 to 120 people, and you can't fucking backpedal when you say some wild shit in front of hundreds of people when there are thousands of people outside of the room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's like the rough life. I mean, I don't want to say that's one of the things that stopped me from continuing streaming, but like, I don't know. That wasn't not part of it.
Yeah, I understand.
I think a lot of it was because when you have to deal with those kind of things where you are constantly not able to necessarily take those risks because the risks can be way not worth whatever tiny reward you may be getting, it becomes a little bit more stagnant as you go throughout time, and that's one of the things that drew me away from it. But there's a ton of other things too. It's not like it's not a single issue type deal.
Yeah, that's I being new to it. Like I said, I'm like a little freshly buttered baby.
I'm a baby
in the internet, and I'm learning all this stuff, especially on streaming, and I feel the pressures of like, I'm not old, right? I'm not, but I feel behind on things. And Noah, how many times have I asked you for help with shit?
A decent number of times.
Yes. Well, he's being, I would say, humble about it. But dude, I am hyper aware of the fact that I'm new to this. The crowd is growing, and I have to be respectful and aware of myself, or my dumb ass will say some wild shit.
Yeah. I mean, that's the scary thing is
that's the fun part.
What's life without a little risk?
That's true, dude. That's the messed up. There's always two sides to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be, setting fire on anything, but at the same time, it's super fun to get into trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And
He's right.
Having hot, spicy takes is a gift. If you don't have the spiciest takes, no one's gonna want it. Nobody wants a bland take. It's like a bland taco. Nobody wants a bland taco. Only you gotta have that spice.
Yeah, it's like in white bread when you go to a bakery.
Yeah, dude. I don't want that old freaking white bread that's just standing there, maybe like a fly is looking over, like hovering over it.
On that circular note, maybe we should call this one a day.
That does sound like it's time.
It's been a good run.
Mm-hmm.
We have to cut out a little bit of it.
It's been a good run, but unfortunately, we're all super canceled.
Oh shit!
And not as much as Suzuki Joe, though.
That's true.
We can rest easy
Amen to
knowing
that. Amen to canceling Suzuki Joe.
We canceled Suzuki Joe. What did it cost us? Everything. That's a meme.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You did it. You did the meme.
Where can we find you at, Jess?
Yeah.
You can find me all over the internet, even though I am baby form. I am growing. My name is at Mr Scutella on pretty much all platforms, that being Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. You're welcome to come and find me, message me, at me, bro. Anything you'd like. I do truly love interacting and meeting new people. So if you are interested in any of the shit that we have been talking about, which is nonsense, we've talked about nonsense, please invite yourself in. I would love to meet you. And I really appreciate you guys inviting me on. This was hella fun. Noah, I love you, and I knew if you were anywhere a part of this, it was going to be good. So thanks, buddy.
Hey, I'm glad that you had a blast with this.
It was great having you. It was an absolute trip.
For anyone looking, all of Jess's links will be in the show notes on the website, so you'll be able to find everything pretty easily right there.
Will I be able to share it? And
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Listen to
We'll
it?
see about that.
You know what I feel
Actually,
bad
you're
about?
not
Noah?
allowed. We actually only let 2 and 3 time guests share the podcast. You gotta pay your dues first.
Yeah.
Listen, you guys are great. I mean, obviously, I'm not like being like, please, I would love to come back. If you guys ever have another time you'd like to fill and you want my shit ass to come and talk, this was a lot of fun. I've been on a lot of podcasts, and some of them are fucking are whiter and less toasty than Noah's bread. And so genuinely, when I say thank you very much, guys, you guys.
I can't wait for somebody to draw Noah just on a piece of white bread, like one of those Jesus toasts or whatever. You know, like, oh, you see Jesus in a piece of toast. We're just gonna see Noah in some white bread.
dude, you're freaking. Do you say fiance?
I almost said, what's the difference?
Noah, do you say your fiance now, or do you still say? What do you say?
It depends on who I'm talking to. It depends on how much I want people.
You're talking to me.
It depends on how.
Us.
If I'm talking to you, I'm just gonna be like Nina. But if I'm talking to other people, I usually say my girlfriend because I always have felt like saying my fiance sounds like such a kind of pretentious thing to say.
I agree 100%, dude. I'm
real
here for
francophobe hours.
I only ask just for out of respect because I know some people are like, oh, that's my partner, and how dare you, or whatever. So I just I wanted to ask, but I would love to see what she would draw you as.
Oh,
boom!
I might actually reach out to her.
Yes, but also I wanted to ask. I should have shared this with my my Twitch community, dude. They would have all loved to have listened to this. I feel bad for not thinking of it.
Well, I mean, people
cannot tune in.
The good news is we don't broadcast this live. It will be coming out on Thursday, and I'll make sure to post it in the server.
Oh hell yeah, dude! Because so many people have like looked for previous podcasts I've been on, and I think there's only maybe 5 or 6 of them online still. So
oh, is that all?
Well,
he's just flexing, dude. He's flexing. What can you do?
No, I'm just clarifying the point. But
no, I get it.
I appreciate it. This was a lot of fun. I wish I could share so many more stories, but freaking Jackson's got to go head out to the woods and start
commune with nature.
Yeah, dude, his new reality.
If I don't help Michelle cook dinner, she's literally not going to let me eat any of it. So. Oh
shit! Oh yeah, dude, you're gonna starve.
Oh, I'm dying. If I don't show up next week, everyone knows why. It's because Michelle stopped feeding me.
Tell her you're getting a tat too. Tell her you got convinced.
I got a hookup now.
I'm getting a tattoo.
I even know. So I now know a guy. Like I can just be like, hey, listen, he offered. I gotta go. He said I had to hit him up next time if I ever got one. That's what it is.
Sorry, I love you, but I'm getting inked. I got a new ink daddy. And you ain't
daddy. I love it. I love it so much.
All right, Jackson, do you have any socials you want to drop this week? Nope. Cool. Dan, how about you?
No longer part of society.
No longer part.
Oh God, I've been doing this podcast for 2.5 years and I can't keep track of any of them still. Twitch and Twitter.
2.5 years?
Twitter at Born57, twitch.tv/BornRule, where Noah and I are streaming every Thursday, and me and late Saturday evenings, and Noah, I know you stream also on Saturdays.
Yeah. You can find me as Bubbadabad, Bubbadabad, on pretty much any site that you're looking for me. Stream.
I've never been able to say that.
Even on Fur Affinity?
It is Bubbadabad, Bubbadabad.
Bubbadabad.
Jackson, especially there.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm on Fur Affinity.
I've never been
daily.
able to say that crap, dude. I literally I call you like Bubba Butt Boy or something like that every time.
That's a good name.
I mean, it works.
It's more accurate.
I just hate the idea of now seeing the image of Noah on white bread toasted saying Bubba Butt Boy on it. Like, you just ruined this man's career in one episode.
See, that's my brother got his Twitter username from a mispronunciation of that name too, because a podcast I listened to, I wrote in and they called me Bubba Wubba Dab.
Got him.
And it's just like, it's perfect. But yeah, I stream on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Tuesdays and Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Saturdays from 7 to 10. We're about to play Undertale. I've never played it before.
Can I ask? I want to come back on and just share exclusively Noah stories because I have a lot.
That is 100% an option. Oh shit! That reminds me. Big news. As it turns out, I am a big dumb idiot when it comes to math. The 100th episode and the 2-year anniversary hit on essentially the same day. It's the same weekend.
It's right now. You're listening to it right now.
Episode
Is
100
it for real?
coming out on July 9th.
Oh yeah, I see. 90. This is 95. We're 95.
Yes, sir.
Damn, that's tight, dude. Congratulations, guys. That's freaking
That's
cool.
so many episodes. I can't believe you guys tricked me into this.
I know, right?
No, it's cool, man. I love it. I think there's something really special about podcasts, and if they develop a solid culture, which I think you guys have, I think it would be way more fun if we were in person, though. I would say that.
Oh, without a doubt.
I mean, I can get behind that.
I don't. So here's the thing. I don't want to make promises because I don't know about when Pennsylvania is, like, specifically Erie County is moving to the green state.
Oh yeah, no, I know. I
No,
totally. I'm not
here's the
saying
thing.
that.
Here's the thing. If we do not move to the green state too quickly, knock on wood, we are doing an in-person recording for episode 100. The first time Dan and Jackson will ever have met each other.
We would like to. The words we're going to use are we would like to, and we're trying to make it happen.
Currently working.
Wait,
exactly.
You two haven't met?
Jackson and I have never met in person, no. We almost did for...
Dan, you're out in Philly.
Never met in person, and we've DM'd probably 6 times.
Yeah.
You're out in Philly, right, Dan?
I am on the far side of Philly. I'm actually, my girlfriend and I are hopefully moving up to North Jersey in a couple of, like 9 weeks, 10 weeks, something like that.
Hell yeah, dude. Good luck. Are you proud of me that I remembered that about you?
I am. I feel very loved, and it's how I know you care.
Jackson, where the hell are you at?
I lived in Texas for a while, but now I live here. I go to Edinburgh.
Oh, shut up. For real?
Yeah.
That's tight, dude. All right, cool. Wow. Well, dude, I hope you guys get to do that. I know you said that you would like to, but I hope it happens for you guys. That's really cool. Everyone's dead. It's just me now. Welcome to my podcast, everyone.
Yeah, sorry, I was in the woods there for a second mentally.
Sorry, I'll wrap up podcast plugs real quick, and then everyone can go. So it is.
Thank you for giving us permission.
Facebook.com at
yeah, you can go now.
OTA Podcast, Twitter at The Off the Air, or Patreon.com/Off the Air. Any dollar amount that you donate right now will unlock all the bonus posts, all 3 of them at the moment. But
we have so many. There's so much content on there.
So much
content. You should oh wait, I wasn't recording. God damn it. I wish we would have included the earlier stuff when we were off air. That would have been fucking great. Damn it.
We were off the air the whole time, guys, and this has been Off the Air. See you later.
You can find us there. And also, sorry, I just got to wrap up the last thing.
No, I'm still talking. It's okay. I get it.
I'm almost done. Give us a review on Apple Podcasts. It's the best way you can help us. Short of just shouting to people about the podcast and be like, listen,
which would be sick.
I'm going to do that too.
And if you want to get a free audiobook, go to audible.com/off the air and get yourself a free month of Audible with a free book token.
Holy shit, you guys are awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah.
And
you'd think we know what we're doing after doing this for
almost 2 years.
2 years. That's so long. I don't think I've done anything else in my life for that long.
Says the man who went to school.
I am also killing the recording right now.
All right, kill the recordings.
I'm going to say fart as the last thing I'll say, and fart.